The market for SUVs in the United States is steadily growing. By far, these SUVs have outrun other types of vehicles when it comes to sales, because really, what a good SUV cannot do? They can tow, they can haul cargo, and they can look good while making their passengers comfortable. They are the most practical choice for a daily commuter, or even for a transport medium for long-distance travel. That's why it didn't surprise me anymore that every year, new SUVs are being introduced. Of course, some of these SUVs may not impress everyone, but there are certain few that move fast across different dealerships in the United States in terms of sales. Hello everyone, this is Ted from CarlandTV. Take the back seat as in this episode, I am going to reveal some of the top-selling new SUVs as of June 2024. This list covers various segments, so regardless of what you want, there's something that could satisfy your preferences. Before I start, I would like to ask you the favor of hitting the subscribe and notification bells. They help the channel a lot. Now buckle up and let's get back to the video. 2024 Mazda CX-5. You can bet your money on the latest model of Mazda CX-5 and will never lose anything. American shoppers have a heavy demand for this particular SUV, thanks to its competitive pricing, impressive handling, and user-friendly driving dynamics. I have been able to drive the CX-5 already, and it's spectacular in a way that it's very easy to control. It has effortless steering, and the brakes work seamlessly. There's also the fact that the passenger view of this car is unobstructed, and I enjoy every drive with it. At the same time, the interior is such a beauty to behold. It's a $30,000 SUV after all, so I'm not surprised that aside from having a luxury appeal, the interior appointments are clean and sleek. It has a 10.25-inch display too, and that's pretty much what American shoppers would want for a tech-savvy modern SUV. It also hosts a number of great safety features, so it definitely checks the list when it comes to user and crash safety. The odd thing, though, is that its legroom is kinda tight, which is due to the way the car has been designed. It somehow sacrificed some of the space to make it as stylish as possible. On the flip side, the new CX-5 still has an all-wheel drive as a standard, and its base engine outputs 187 horsepower. Still, I suggest that you get its 256 horsepower turbocharged powertrain so that you can pair it with its 6-speed automatic transmission. That's the most commonly opted configuration for this SUV. 2024 Jeep Grand Cherokee. I am quite aware of the reliability issues that revolve around certain Jeep SUVs, especially the off-roaders. Still, the 2024 Grand Cherokee has been able to overcome the bad raps. Currently, it's one of the fastest-selling Jeep SUVs and one of the SUVs that grossed the most sales as of June 2024. There are multiple reasons that could point as to why the Grand Cherokee charmed American shoppers. As a mid-size SUV, the Grand Cherokee appeals to a bigger market. I mean, this one doesn't just ride on paved roads, but it has entry-level capabilities to tackle rough roads. If you want to make the Grand Cherokee a bona fide off-roader, I suggest you go choose its Trailhawk model. It has been fitted with off-roading components, such as an adjustable air suspension. Speaking of, the majority of Grand Cherokee trims use a V6 engine, which outputs 293 horsepower, and include its rear-wheel drive as standard. Needless to say, you can get this SUV on an all-wheel drive system. Since plug-in hybrids are becoming a trend these days, Jeep introduced the 4xe variant for the Grand Cherokee, and this one is well appointed, stacked with great driver assist features, and offers superb driving dynamics. And right from the get-go, it's faster than any of the non-hybrid models of the Grand Cherokee. 2024 Tesla Model Y. Based on the recent market trajectory, there are telltale signs that the market for electric cars in general is going flat. That's why I am pretty surprised that the Model Y is still selling hot this 2024. There are some significant changes in the new Model Y. Basically, it doesn't drive like a sedan anymore, since it adopted a conventional yet sleek SUV body style. What I did notice is that its handling isn't as good as it used to be. Well, it's still controllable, but not as refined as compared to its predecessor. But on the flip side, it gained more space in its cabin, and the cargo room can now accommodate more groceries and luggage. In hindsight, I think it's a wise move for Tesla to make the Model Y a practical commuter. It might have been predicted already that the EV market is getting more and more competitive, and style doesn't mean sales. It's already an appealing choice for families now. Moreover, its long-range model has an electric driving range of 330 miles, leaving most of its rivals exhausted. Even the Mach-E can't match the Model Y in this barometer. With the long-range model, you will be getting a sprinter of an SUV. Based on real-world tests, its 0 to 60 is under 5 seconds. 2024 Ford Explorer. The SUV trend for the past 2 or 3 years has been geared toward small and compact models. It's not difficult to see why. People who transition from sedans or hatchbacks are more comfortable with small SUVs than larger ones. However, there's still a demand for those larger SUVs. Take the 2024 Ford Explorer as an example. This midsize SUV is one of the best-selling SUVs this year. Part of the reason is that it is a spacious commuter for transporting families around, inside, and outside cities. The 3 rows of the Ford Explorer are definitely spacious. Even the headroom is perfectly adequate even for tall passengers. One thing that I appreciate about the Ford Explorer is that it's available in different trim levels. Depending on your budget, you can actually get something that will match your driving needs. The limited trim, for example, is around $8,000 more expensive than the base model. But with the added $8,000, you will get the twin-turbocharged V6 engine that cranks up 400 horsepower, allowing the SUV to tow over 5,000 pounds of cargo. Other niceties included in the trim in the limited trim are the bigger 20-inch wheels, heated steering wheel, and upgraded driver assist tech. Regardless of which model you pick, I can assure you that the Ford Explorer is agile. Moreover, it has a host of solid safety features, which have been acknowledged by the Insurance Institute for Highway Safety. 2024 Subaru Forester. The latest model of the 2024 Subaru Forester got people divided. According to its critics, the acceleration of this SUV is definitely pokey, which I can definitely agree. Plus, if you only settle on its base model, the provisions are pretty limited. So there's always a notion that the Outback is a better choice than the Forester. However, these downsides didn't prevent the Forester from being one of the top-selling SUVs in 2024. Part of the reason is due to its off-roading capabilities. Yes, a $28,000 SUV like the Forester is able to handle rough roads, but definitely it's not something you can drive on extremely treacherous paths. Moreover, the Forester has a quiet interior, and the entire cabin is designed to keep passengers as comfortable as possible. This crossover has a spacious cargo space, while its seats have reasonable roominess. As an entry-level off-roader, the new Forester has a standard all-wheel drive, but as I mentioned earlier, it's a bit sluggish, and the 182 horsepower flat 4-cylinder powertrain is a bit underwhelming. Sadly, there's no optional engine available for the 2024 Subaru Forester, but it's still a good commuter nonetheless. It also has sporty handling, so there's still a thrill driving this SUV. 2024 Toyota RAV4. The RAV4 was also a hot seller in 2023. To be exact, there were 434,943 Toyota RAV4s that were sold last year, which speaks volumes about how wanted this car is. Naturally, this momentum continued to its latest model. Well, there's a lot to like in the 2024 Toyota RAV4. Its emphasis on reliability and longevity is perhaps the driving force that attracts customers to get this SUV. While it's not exactly as refined as its competitors, it's still a savvy commuter. I am very well satisfied with its handling, and the way its transmission functions makes it easier to drive, even in heavy traffic. Another factor that bolted U.S. buyers to get the RAV4 is its fuel efficiency, especially if we are talking about its hybrid model. That one can achieve 38 miles per gallon in the city and 35 miles per gallon on the highway. For the non-hybrid model, it's 32 miles per gallon on the highway and 27 miles per gallon in the city. These numbers aren't bad, but it's pretty obvious that you can save more money on fuel when you get a 2024 RAV4 hybrid. Admittedly, the base 203 horsepower, 2.5-liter 4-cylinder engine for the RAV4 has limited acceleration. But then again, it gives the SUV more mileage than its counterparts. It's not a downside, though, as this SUV is designed as a perfect commuter for any suburban jaunt. And that completes our list. Thanks for sticking to the end. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like and share buttons. I know it's a chore, but it helps the channel a lot. Until next time, drive safely.